wow, biggest move of the season so far. And that's saying a lot, given the theme of this season, but I was about jumping for joy after seeing this move. It was iconic. Okay, so welcome to the episode 6 Survivor Winners at War vlog. As you know, I always give the boom spoiler warning right there. So, there it is. If you want to click up the video, now's the time if you haven't seen the episode 6 yet. Okay, so, at the very start of the video of the episode, the new Yara camp, they're starting to, open up a little bit more. They have the opportunity to just kind of be themselves now because Boston Rob's gone. So they're all celebrating. They're all having a blast. They're all having a good time, except Adam, because now Adam feels that with Boston Rob gone and Ben getting close to the girls, that now he's the one that's being cornered. Now that Boston Rob's gone, so now he doesn't feel safe anymore. So, meanwhile, back at the edge of extinction, Boston Rob, he's getting caught up with his wife Amber, just typical stuff that we would see from them. And then Tyson comes in with this, this massive log and has their next challenge on it, and it's like, you have an opportunity to earn a fire token, and it's a clue about being at the right place at the right time. So so everyone just kind of goes off looking for the fire token. And it also has to do with looking underneath stones. So, there's like a lot of stones on this one island. So everyone, they're all in a frenzy. They're just kind of looking around. They're just looking for under random stones and not looking for specific landmarks or anything like that, except for Tyson. Except for Tyson.
You're having fun.
Mommy.
He's the only one that deciphers the part of the clue about being at the right place at the right time, and the only part of an island like that that's affected by time is the tide. So he's looking along the edge of these rock formations, and he stumbles upon something. He doesn't know what it is yet because it's big and bulky and it's kind of wrapped around and all that. But then he looks over and he sees Boston Rob just kind of eyeballing him. He's not really sure what he's doing and all that. So Tyson decides to divert his attention by pretending to pee in the water and all that. So Rob looks away. Tyson goes over and grabs the satchel and. He opens it up, and inside is the idol nullifier, power that allows the person to play it to block the power of the hidden immunity idol if it's played at the right time. Now, he has now he has to try to sell it to a player that's still in the game for 1 fire token. And he decides to try to sell it to Parvati.
Mommy.
Parvati buys. Easy sell. So now Parvati has 2 fire tokens and the idol. No, wait. She has 4 tokens and the idol null. 3 tokens and the idol null. I'm losing my numbers here. It's been a crazy weekend. I don't want to go into details about it, but. It's been a crazy weekend. I'll just leave it at that. So basically, so after that they get to the immunity challenge, and then Jeff drops this huge bombshell that only 1 tribe will win immunity, and the other 2 tribes have to go to tribal council separately and vote someone out. So the immunity challenge plays out, and Sally once again gets the early lead out, and Yara's not far behind them. The call's just kind of dead in the water. Yeah, it's kind of obvious that they're gonna lose the challenge. Ugh, it's a little hot in here. Sorry. So challenge goes on and all that. Then they get to the table maze and everything, and Sally first to start the table maze, but Wendell literally drops the ball. and Yara, who wasn't that far behind them, is now like miles ahead of them on this table maze. So they finish. They win the challenge. Yara and now Sally and DeCall have to go to Tribal Council and vote someone out. So now comes the events of everything that was taking place at at the camps before Tribal. Sorry, at the camps before Tribal Council. So we're at the Sele tribe. You know, the three guys, Nick, Wendell, and Yule. They're kind of like in a consensus agreement right out of the gate. Parvati, you know, she's the biggest threat, and the person that's on the wrong side of the numbers. So, you know, everything seems set in stone for Parvati to go home. But then Michelle goes up to Wendell, you know, because they have a past relationship together and all that. And Michelle tries to see if she can work out an arrangement between her and Wendell. And Wendell hears her out, but kind of he's kind of like pulling a leash. That, you know, he thinks that she has Michelle on a leash, and that, you know, he's just kind of dragging her along with it, and all that. So he's kind of talking down on her and everything, and that's just, it's not the best way to go about it. And then later, Parvati and Wendell are talking, and Parvati and Wendell actually makes an offer to Parvati as like, I want 2 of your fire tokens. Give me 2 of your fire tokens. We'll vote out whoever you want to vote out. But the problem is that, you know, Parvati has the most to lose right now because she's on the outs. So, you know, she tries to barter with it with that and be like, okay, so we vote out the person first, then I give you the fire tokens. And Wendell's like, no, I need the fire tokens now. Red flag, right there. I would not trust that. For even a second. Not even for a second. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You want my fire tokens? We do the vote first, then I'll give you the fire tokens. And so now, Parvati has information and ammunition to use against Wendell. So she goes to Nick and tells him, okay, this is what just happened. Wendell wants me to give him 2 fire tokens, and we'll vote the way I want to vote. And so now this raises concerns and red flags for Wendell for Nick about Wendell. And so now Nick is trying to figure out whether or not he should vote out Wendell instead of Parvati. So that happens at Sally. Then we go to DeCall. And, you know, of course, you know, Tony with his little spy shack at the well, he decides to go hide there and wait for people to show up so that way he can get information. But these are winners. These are winners this time. So, you know, they already know. They already know. Don't go to the water well because that's where it was last time. They don't fall for the spy shack trick this time around. And so they're going off kind of on doing their own thing. Tony's not getting anything, no information at all, and so he finally comes out of the spy shack, and you know, he gets spotted by Kim as he's coming out. Then Sandra comes up and they confront him about it, and you know, he gives a fair excuse this time. He's like, dude, I'm going crazy here. I'm nervous. You know, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm trying to sneak information from Denise and all that. And so then Jeremy comes into the little conversation, and they all decide as a group, hey, let's just vote Denise out. And, you know, so yeah, you know, again, a plan that seems set in stone. But then Sandra decides to go up to Denise, and, you know, she's like, hey, I have this idol that can only be used at this tribal council because it expires after that. I'm willing to give it to you, but I want you to trade it to me for 2 fire tokens. And so Denise, you know, she ponders on that a little bit, and she comes up with a counterclaim that's kind of matches hers, but just kind of the delivery is different. She says, "Okay, you get the 2 fire tokens, but I'm only going to give you 1 now and 1 after tribal." Sandra accepts. So Sandra gives her the idol, and Denise hands over 1 of her fire tokens. So now she's got this safety net. And Sandra wants her to either vote for Tony or Jeremy. Bless me. But anyway, the idea of this is for Sandra to get rid of one of her big threats without getting the blood on her hands. And Denise picks up on this. She's not a noob, Sandra. She's a smart player, very smart player. So that happens. So then we get to the tribal councils. First is Sele, and Wendell. He's already got red flags just also surrounding him in all different directions because of his behavior earlier in the day. But then at tribal council, he full on confesses that this is what went down at tribal. I'm hearing some weird background voices. I hear my wife going, "Sean, I can't hear you. Sean, I can't hear you." I don't know what that's about. Oh, I love my wife. She's a lot of fun. Okay, so anyway. So that Wendell actually confesses to everything that went down at the beach earlier that day, which is even dumber than just straight up denying it. I mean, Nick's already suspicious of you, and now you're just going to full on admit it? And yet he survives that tribal council, and Parvati gets voted out. Parvati, you should have used the idol nullifier as more incentive for Nick to keep you around. That's what I would have done. If you're trying to get a number on your side, you need to use everything at your disposal to get that number. Show him the idol nullifier. Let him know, hey, you keep me around, we can take this to the merge with us, and we can use it to get a good foothold in the game. Easy as that. Easy as that. But no, she didn't do it. So she's off to Edge of Extinction, and she gives her 3 fire tokens to Michelle. Then we get to DeKalb's Tribal Council. This one, I just already knew right off the bat was going to be interesting. Because, unlike the Sele Tribal Council, where I knew it was going to be either Parvati or Wendell, with this Tribal Council, I didn't know who was going to get voted out. I had it in my head on who I wanted to get voted out, because after Sandra gave Denise the idol, the first thing that went through my head is, if I was in Denise's position, I would then use that hidden immunity idol to get rid of Sandra. It's like, thanks for the idol, Sandra. I'm using it to get rid of you. That's exactly what my first thought. That was exactly what my first thought was. So as the tribal council goes and all that, everyone's talking about who's a bigger threat and all that. Tony's a huge threat, physical threat. Jeremy's a huge physical threat. Sandra's trying so hard to get some of the spotlight off her. And Denise, she's holding on to 2 idols, one from Sandra and one from the Sele beach that she found earlier on in the game. And so they get to the vote, and just as Sandra had warned Denise, all 4 of the other people voted for Denise. And so after the vote had been written in and all that, and Jeff asks if anyone had the hidden immunity idol, blah blah blah. Denise stands up, plays one for herself, and it was a real idol. And then she stood up and played another one for Jeremy. She wanted to keep both parties that she was associated with safe. So, the votes are coming out. Denise, none of them counted. And then just as he's reading, as Jeff pulls out the last one and he starts to read out, 8th person voted out, and I'm like, Sandra. He turns the vote, Sandra. Boom! Blind side. Biggest move of the season so far. Huge. It was beautiful. I could not contain myself. I was laughing so hard. And it's like, I've been wanting to see a play like that for so long. And to think it was Denise that pulled it off. Bravo, Denise. Oh. Whew. So yeah, that's my... Oh yeah, and as Sandra heads off to Edge of Extinction, she gives the one fire token that she got from Denise and gives it to Yule. Not sure why, but Yule. There it is. But yeah, that's my reaction video to episode 6. And again, I'm sorry that this didn't come out the day that it aired, but I lost track of time yesterday, and I ended up missing the episode, so I had to wait until today for it to come out. So I apologize for that. It's been a pretty chaotic last few days for me, so you have to forgive me for not going into details with it, but some things are just better left not spoken about. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next week for episode 7. Take care. Bye.